Right. So thank you all for coming. My name's Dave Evans. I'm the CTO and one of the co-founders of PlayCanvas. Just a quick introduction. You're probably not interested. I'm currently the CTO of PlayCanvas. We've been going about 3 or 4 years. We're an engine company and tools company. I'll show you more about that later on. Prior to this, I was the lead tools engineer at Sony, or a lead tools engineer at Sony Computer Entertainment in Soho. I was the lead tools programmer on PlayStation Home. And prior to that, I worked on some of the Getaway series of games, and before that at Rebellion, I was a gameplay programmer there. So I've really spanned the full gamut of sort of game programming. I've done physics, I've done AI, and I ended up doing tools, and that's what led me to start PlayCanvas. What is PlayCanvas? We're a cloud-hosted game development platform, which is a lot of buzzwords. We're essentially 3 things. We're an engine, a JavaScript, WebGL, client-side game engine. We're a set of tools, a professional quality full game development pipeline, all running in your web browser. And we're a publishing platform, so when you've built your game, you can one-click publish, and you'll be live on playcanvas.com, or you can download and serve it yourself wherever you like. So one of the things we get asked a lot is, why would you develop software in the cloud? And there are lots of reasons. I'm just going to talk about a few of them before showing you the actual tools and stuff, and I think then you'll start to realize some of the advantages of this. You can access your projects from any device. This is, if you've ever worked with Google Docs and you've been somewhere where you didn't have access to your computer and you needed to see that document, you'll realize it's incredibly useful. We're actually the only game engine sort of platform that you can develop your game on a tablet in a web browser, or just on a tablet, basically. We actually demoed this using a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard on a Galaxy 10.1, and I probably wouldn't recommend it. But the fact is, you can actually access the tools, and what we have definitely done is redeployed games, we've browsed code, we've looked at projects and looked at changes from our phones on the bus or wherever we just happen to be. It's incredibly useful. Because we run a server-side toolset, you can collaborate in real time with your team. You can see the changes as they come in live. You can all access the same set of assets. You know that you're working together on the right thing. You can get instant help and feedback. So once your assets and stuff is on the cloud, it becomes a link or a URL, which means that everything from a texture to a level to your entire published game is just a URL, which you can send to a friend, send to a colleague, send to anyone, send to a client, send to whoever is paying for your project, and have them check it and instantly give you feedback on that. And then finally, you can share and browse your projects. So if you're looking for how something is done, if you're looking to learn, you can browse PlayCanvas for other people's projects, how they've done AI navigation, or a particular post-process effect or whatever. And you can see that stuff, and it's there, and if they've let you, it's open and available to everyone. So when we say we're building a browser-based game engine, people often kind of think of the 2D, the old school Flash stuff. And really we've come a long way since then. So this is WebGL, JavaScript game. This is running in a browser. And this is one of the games that we built, and it was built by 2 people, 1 programmer, 1 artist, over about 4 weeks. And it really shows you how far the graphical quality has come on in browsers. And this runs not only on desktop machines, but also on my mobile phone, which I've left down there. which might have been a mistake. And I will show you that later if you're interested. But yeah, it runs in every modern web browser. And you can try it yourself at that URL because it's just a link. So some of the more technical details. The engine is JavaScript, like I said. We use WebGL to do hardware accelerated graphics. The engine itself is open source on GitHub. So you can fork it yourself, you can access it. We've very specifically planned a combination of handcrafted JavaScript, so it's easy to debug, it's good looking, nice looking code, it's easy to follow, and machine generated JavaScript. So our physics engine, for example, is a compiled version of Bullet, the C++ physics library. And that means we get the speed of the sort of machine generated JavaScript, but also where we need it, it's very easy to follow, very easy to debug. On the art side, drag and drop an FBX into your web browser, it's uploaded, it's crunched down into a runtime format, and it takes less than 30 seconds usually. We have all the features that you would expect for this sort of engine: skinned animation, material editing, skybox, post effects, various other stuff. And then on the design side, our kind of centerpiece of the toolset is the PlayCanvas Designer, which is a visual editor for the software. And again, it has all the sort of things that you'd expect from a game engine: scripting API, a physics engine, trigger volumes, just visual interface to all this sort of stuff. And the key thing about the designer is this. This is the real-time collaboration. So this is two users, a sort of programmer type guy on the left, maybe a more artistic guy on the right, and they're building a level simultaneously. They could be anywhere in the world, they could be in the same room, they could be on different continents. On the left, he's like positioning the, getting the player character up and running. On the right, they're designing the level, setting up the background, positioning the platforms. And finally, add some collectible gems. And then they both click play, and they're both running the same app. And this was built, it's sped up about 5-6 times, right? So this took us about 8 minutes to build that level. And you do it together. And that works for everyone, everywhere, in any browser, on any device. So I'm going to do a quick live demo. So this is the tool running here. And this is a little sort of platform game. And you can see if you've used Unity or Unreal or any of these kind of sort of level designer tools, this is built on years and years of experience of how people expect game development tools to work. So I can click play, and the game will run in this tab. And if I snap that off, I can try and so this is the designer on the left, the live game running on the right, and there's kind of nowhere to go. So I can just start building out the level. Just start positioning platforms, and as they appear, start designing the level as I go. And this doesn't just work for me, left and right on the same machine, but anyone else who is also signed into this scene, again, anywhere in the world, can see this stuff happening in real time and can, if you had a chat window, you've got Skype open, you can be talking about this and working out where's the best place to position these things and stuff like that. And really, it becomes as if you're in the same room working together. And so level 2 gets a bit harder. So that's that's the basics of the design tool. Again, it's not, the design tool itself is not going to surprise you, and that's the idea. What is amazing is the fact how collaborative it is, how well it works as part of a team. And that makes it ideal for things like game jams. So, instant start. You turn up at 9 AM in 2 weeks' time. You don't have to spend an hour and a half making sure all your team have the same version of Unity installed, or they've got the same drivers, or whatever. You click a link, you add someone to your project, and it works. The collaboration side of stuff, like you saw, there's no massive binary files that you can't merge. You're just all editing the same scene. It works perfectly. You saw the iteration time there. You can have live stuff running side by side. It works really well. And again, like I said before, because everything just becomes a link, to get this review, to get this shared, not just when you've got the finished game, but also while you're in development, you can send links to textures, links to assets, links to models, and people can check them out instantly. And it really makes this stuff ideal for jamming because it happens so fast. And the reason I know this is because we've used it in game jams. This is the PlayCanvas team's Ludum Dare, or Ludum Dare, progress chart. Higher is better. You can see we had a bit of a peak, Ludum Dare 23, 24, 25. I had a bit of a bad day on 26. And then we're back to our casual form. So we do this all the time as part of our team, and we really enjoy it. I wish we were going to be able to do a team on the one in 2 weeks' time, but we just can't do it, and kind of we're involved, so it might be a bit weird. But we know it works well because we've done it. This is some of our previous jam entries. The one on, and actually, interestingly, going from longer and longer time spent, and also more and more sort of graphical quality. The one on the left was a single programmer, no artist involved, built in 8 hours for the game hack a couple of weeks ago, in which he came second. And this is a multiplayer tank shooting game, so it had a server component as well, and that's just part of it, right? You can't expect to build a server and client-side game development tool, game, if the client-side stuff is not really quick and easy to do. And it helped that he could write JavaScript client and server side. The middle one was built by Will, one of the co-founders of PlayCanvas, and he's not an artist, but he knows how to use 3D Studio Max, and he kind of built this himself, got it working, and you know, it doesn't look too bad. It's actually, the theme of it is all the pipes from Flappy Birds got dropped to the bottom of the ocean, and you've got to retrieve them. And then the last one was built by a team of 2, one artist, one programmer, and again you can see that there's, even for 72 hours, there's actually some real artwork there and stuff. So again, we've done this stuff before, we know that it works. So after the jam, when you're feeling like Playbot, you're either delirious with happiness because you've come first, or maybe you're just celebrating with a nice lie down. But what are you going to do with your game? You've probably made something beautiful, you've made something amazing. Where do you go from there? So, with one click, you can publish your game to playcanvas.com. We'll host it for free. We get tens of thousands of views a month on our website. But we'll never lock you into that. If you want, you can always export and download your game as a standalone application, which most portals will accept as HTML5 games. A lot of the big ones here, they get a lot more than 10,000 views a month, I suspect. So that's one way of doing it, publishing to the web. You could always publish to the mobile web if you've made a mobile game or designed something around mobile. It pleased us greatly to see Apple are finally catching up. About 2 weeks ago, they announced WebGL support in iOS 8. So with that announcement, basically WebGL works everywhere without any meaningful exceptions, certainly. So that's going to be cool. And so the mobile web, you know, you get it's actually quite hard to sort of articulate how important being able to share a game on a URL is compared to sending someone to an App Store link. I don't know the numbers, but I know numbers for hitting a website and having a plugin gives you around a 50% drop off. So I don't, I couldn't guess what the numbers are if you say, please install this game, and I have to go through the App Store, download, wait, install, all that sort of stuff. But I can tell you, if you click on a link in Twitter and it opens up your browser and you're in a game, your engagement rate is going to be much, much higher. So it's something that's not worth underestimating. And then finally, though, you may want to go to the App Store, and we understand that, and that's definitely something that we have done too. So we use various third parties like Ludai, Cocoon.js from Ludai, and Crosswalk, which I think is an Intel-sponsored project, an open source project. But there are various other ones available. Ejector is another one. And they let you wrap any HTML5 game, including WebGL ones, and deploy them as native applications on Android or iOS. And so, basically, in summary, PlayCanvas is an engine that you can use. It's open source. You can use it for free. It's a set of collaborative tools, which you can also use for free. There's a free tier. It's open for everybody. And you can try it at playcanvas.com. And I wish you all the best of luck at the game jam. Thank you very much.